Hello everybody. In this video, we are going to learn reported speech. Hope this video will help you to clear all your doubts regarding the topic, reported speech. So as you all know, what is reported speech? Reported speech is when you report someone's words to someone else. You want to share someone's words to someone else, then there should be some changes to take place in what you have to say. Right. So what changes can be taken place? That's what we are going to learn through this video. So what is the definition of reported speech? We can learn here. Reported speech, also known as indirect speech, refers to a sentence reporting what someone has said. So you are reporting, you are sharing what someone has said to someone else. Then you use reported speech. Or in other words, you can say reported speech is when you tell somebody else what you or a person said before. So you are sharing with someone that you said this and this, and you are sharing that someone else said this and this. So this sentence is said to be reported speech. Let's know what are the rules of converting a sentence into reported speech. Look, in all sentences, the quotation marks and the comma immediately before the first quotation mark are removed. Next, conjunction is inserted after the reporting verb. Then there are certain changes to be considered. So that's are the changes taking place when you convert a sentence from direct speech into indirect speech. Okay, reported speech is another word for indirect speech. So as it is said here, you'll have to remove the quotation marks and the comma immediately after the immediately before the first quotation mark, and after removing all this, you have to add conjunction. Right. So after that, when you convert that sentence, you will have to make some other changes in tense, say changes in the words that shows time, place. Okay, we'll learn all these things elaborately now. Let's start with an example now. So this is the sentence we are going to convert. Then how will you convert this? She said that she liked ice cream. She liked ice cream. Okay. So what are the changes you see here? As it is said here, we have to remove the quotation marks, the comma, we have to insert conjunction, and some other changes are there to take place. Okay, let's see. What are the other changes we notice here? Look, here we removed this one here. We don't have the comma here. This one, these are the quotation marks and comma we mentioned there in the rule. Okay, we removed all these things here. We don't have any of this. And we added that. So this is the conjunction as it is said here. We have to add the conjunction. That is the conjunction here. So the conjunction changes as per the sentence. If it is a statement, you can add that as a conjunction. And if it is a question word, the conjunction changes. There are two types of questions, you already know, right? What are the two types of question? Yes or no type question and WH questions, right? So if it is an yes or no type question, when you convert the yes or no type question into reported speech, the conjunction you have to add is if or whether. If or whether. This is the conjunction you have to add in a yes or no type question. So at this place, you will be adding if or whether. And at the same time, if it is a WH question, the question word itself, for example, it may be what or when. So as per the sentence, the question word itself will be the conjunction, right? So the conjunction changes as per the sentence. So if it is as it is a statement, declarative sentence, you added that as the conjunction. And if it is a question word, if it is yes or no question, you will be adding if or whether. And if it is a WH question, you will add question word itself, right? And if it is an imperative sentence, something like a request, an order, or a suggestion, you can add to as the conjunction. For example, if you say open the door, teacher said to the student, open the door. Then how will you convert the sentence? The teacher asked the student to open the door. So the to is the conjunction here. So we will be learning in elaborately in coming slides. Okay, so this is said to be the conjunction. And what are the other changes? It is mentioned there are certain changes to be considered after the removal of quotation marks, comma, and after inserting a conjunction. There are some other changes to take place, right? What are the other changes? You can notice here the I here has been changed as she, right? And like has been changed as liked. Understood? So the pronouns changes as this sentence was said by a lady. You convert the I as she, and if it was already told by a man or a boy, you can change it as he. Understood? And like is present tense, and present tense will be converted to past tense, right? So that's why like is converted as liked. These are the changes, and what are the other changes that takes place we will be discussing in coming slides. And as there are changes in time, changes in words that shows places, right? Okay, look here. If the reporting verb is in the past tense, then usually we change the tenses in the reported speech. Reporting verb, if it is in past tense, we change the tense in the present tense into past tense. We change the tenses in the reported speech. Said is the reporting verb here. And as this is in past, I like ice cream. So when we convert this sentence, we have changed she said that she liked ice cream. Understood? She said. So we removed this comma and this quotation mark here. You don't see it here, right? And we added that as the conjunction. We added that. Then the I became she here because it is said by a lady, right? She. So the I became she and like became liked. So simple present changed into simple past. Liked ice cream. That's how we change. Understood? Okay. So what are the other changes take place? We can listen. So changes in tense. What changes can take place in tense? If it is a present tense, if the sentence is present, simple present tense, it will be converted into simple past. You can see here, she said it's cold. It's cold is a simple present, right? Is. It is cold. So when you convert it, she said that it was cold. You notice this, right? The comma here is removed and the quotation marks, you don't see them, right? So comma and quotation marks have been removed and is has been converted as was. It is cold is that it was cold, right? So simple present into simple past. And if it is present continuous, automatically it is to past continuous. So whatever present come here, you will have to convert it to past. So simple present to simple past, present continuous, past continuous, present perfect, past perfect, present perfect continuous to past perfect continuous. Right. So in present continuous, she said, I'm teaching English online. She said, I'm teaching English online. She said that she was teaching English online. She said that she was teaching English online. Then present perfect simple. She said, I have been on the web since 2000. She said, I have been. So you can see have, it is present perfect simple, right? Present perfect. Then what is the past perfect form? It is she said that she had been on the web. She said that she had been. So have been has been converted as had been. So past perfect. And present perfect continuous will be converted into past perfect continuous. She said, I have been teaching English for 7 years. She said that she had been teaching English for 7 years. So these are the changes that takes place in tense. So all the present tense will be converted into past tense. Right. So what happens if it is already past tense? If the sentence that is to be converted into past tense is already in past tense. The sentence that is to be converted into reported speech is already in past tense. What happens? Let's see. Yes, if it is already in simple past, it will be converted into past perfect. Right. If it is already in past tense, then convert it into past perfect. For example, she said, I taught online yesterday. I taught online yesterday. Then how will you convert it? She said that she had taught online the day before. You notice the changes, right? So as we said earlier, comma has been removed and the inverted comma has been removed, and I became she. The change in the pronoun taught is a tense in past tense, right? Past form of teach is taught. So it will be converted as had taught, past perfect, right? She had taught online yesterday. You can see the yesterday here. Yesterday has been converted as the day before. So changes in time, right? Now becomes then, right? Here becomes there. So there are words which denote time and place, and there also changes take place. Okay, then what are the other present continuous? And you can see if, with examples what happens in a present continuous when you convert into reported speech, what changes take place. Okay, if it is present continuous, what will happen? As you learned earlier, it will automatically become past continuous, right? I am living in London. She said that she was living in London. So you notice the changes, right? Am became was. Am is the present form, right? So it has become was and living in London. Past simple past. If it is already simple past, what happens? It will be converted into past perfect. I bought a car. I bought a car. She said that she had bought a car, or she said that she bought a car. So she had bought a car is normally used, right? And this one is also right, but in normal case, the first form is used. So I would suggest you, I would recommend you, whenever you convert a sentence in a simple past, to convert it into past perfect, and past continuous will be past perfect continuous, right? I was walking along the street. She said that she had been walking. She said that she had been walking along the street. Past perfect continuous. And present perfect automatically will be converted to past perfect, right? I haven't seen Julie. She said that she hadn't seen Julie. The haven't is the um, word that denotes this, tends to be so from habit we can understand this is in present perfect tense. So we will convert it into past, making haven't into hadn't. She said that she hadn't seen Julie. And past perfect, of course it is past perfect itself. There is no more past beyond it, right? So a past perfect will remain past perfect. For example, I had taken English lessons before. She said that she had taken English lessons before. That's it. There is no more changes in tense because there is no past beyond past perfect. So I had taken English class before, English lesson before. Then she said that she had taken English lessons before. That's it. Listen, and what will happen if there are words like these in the sentences which is to be converted into reported speech? Look, if it is will, it would be converted to would. Listen, for example, Raju said, I will help you. So, when you convert this into reported speech, how will you convert this? How will you convert? You can say, Raju said, said that, said that. So you removed this one, right? So Raju said that. Then what will be, instead of I, you can write he will become would, right? He would help him. You becomes him or her. You becomes him or her as per the person to whom does he offer the help, right? So Raju said that he would help him. Understood? So will becomes would. And what happens if it already would there in the sentence? If there is would already in the sentence, it remains, would remains. So I would help you, but she said that she would help, but she would help, but so would remains. So if it is already past and you already know Could is the past form of can, and should is the past form of shall, and might is the past form of may. So all this, uh, all this remain in the reported speech. Understood? So it remains same. So you can see, if it is can, you can convert it as to could. For example, I can speak perfect English. I can speak perfect English. She said that she could speak perfect English. So that instead of this can, we can convert it as could. Understood? She could speak perfect English. Understood? So the change is here in can could. There is no change in speak then, because you change it here, right? In the auxiliary, in the modal auxiliary change, and after can and could, the verb remains same, right? There is no change then. You can change there only in this word. Okay, if it is already could, there is no change at all. Here it is could, and here it is also could. I could swim when I was 4. She said that she could swim when she was 4. Okay, and so I shall come later. I shall come later will be converted as she would come later. So instead of should, we convert it as would. So the past, because instead of past form of shall, we use past form of would. Understood? And should, already it is should, then there is no change here. In both cases, it is used should. I should call my mother. She said that she should call her mother. Right? You might be noticing this. Instead of my, her, right? I becomes she. So the changes in pronoun also. So there is change in pronoun, tense, and words that denotes time and place. Okay, might becomes might there itself, that there too. I might be late. She said that she might be late. If it is already may here, then you will convert it as might. If she says I may be late, I may be late, then you can say she said that she might be late. Understood? And must. So when you convert must, you can say had to, must or had to. Okay, so you can say must or had to. She said that I must study at the weekend. She said that she must study at the weekend, or she said that she had to study at the weekend. Okay, she had to or must itself. That's how we convert the modal auxiliary in a reported speech. Okay. Okay, here we can see what are the changes take place when it comes to words denoting time and place. Look, now indirect speech becomes then in indirect speech. Today, that day, here, there, this, that. So the distance increases, right? Now then it becomes then in reported speech. For example, the children are playing outside now. Then how is it converted? He said that the children were playing outside then. Understood? You notice the change, right? R becomes were, because this is present tense, the one is past tense, right? So in reported in direct speech, when it is present tense, it is converted to past tense. That's why he said that the children were playing outside then. I have got a piano lesson today. I have got a piano lesson today. She said that she had got a piano lesson that day. The change, notice, today becomes that day. And I have got, present perfect tense converted into past perfect. Okay, and there, what becomes there? Here becomes there, right? Put the box here. Put the box here. He told us to put the box there. He told us to put. So here the conjunction is to. Okay, here it is that, here it is again that, and here it is the to is the conjunction, because you can say this sentence is imperative sentence because it starts with a verb. You can see it's just like a command or a suggestion or a request, right? So it is just like a command. So words like sentences like these are called imperative sentence. When you convert an imperative sentence into reported speech, you have to use to as the conjunction, okay, in positive cases. So he told us to put the box there. So what happens if it is negative? For example, don't look outside. Then what is the conjunction? He asked us not to look outside. Understood? Okay, it's not related to this place. Anyway, it came to my mind. I just mentioned for you to remember. Okay, he told us to put the box there. Here becomes there. And this becomes that. I shall be very busy this week. She said that she would be very busy that week. She said that she would be very busy that week. Okay, these are the changes in words that shows time. This one shows the all this one shows time, this one shows time, and this one shows place, and this one also shows place, right? Okay, what are the other changes you can see now becomes then we said before itself, right? Okay, today, that, the here, there, this, that, and tomorrow. What happens tomorrow? Tomorrow is converted as the following day or the next day or the day after. Okay, I leave for New York tomorrow. She said that she would leave for New York the next day. Will becomes would, and tomorrow becomes the next day. Okay, next week becomes the following week, or the next week, the week after. Okay, next week becomes the following week. I have an appointment next week. She said that she had an appointment the following week. Yesterday become the previous day or the day before. So our English teacher kissed us yesterday. The this said there, our becomes there. You noticed it, right? Our becomes there. They said that. Don't forget to add that. In some cases they miss something. Okay, it's okay, then you don't forget. They said that their English teacher had kissed them the day before. Okay, last week becomes the previous week or the week before. We had an awful earthquake last week. They told us that they had an awful they had an awful earthquake the previous week, and ago becomes previously or before. For example, the letter came a few days ago. He said that the letter had come. Came becomes had come, right? Had come a few days before. Ago becomes before or previously. Okay, and tonight becomes that night. Okay, I am going for a beer with Carl tonight. He said that he was going for a beer with Carl that night. You notice the changes. Okay. So all these things we have discussed, right? In the table we have seen these things. Okay, that's fine. And what changes takes place when you convert a question into a reported speech? We talked slightly about this in the beginning. So it is WH question, right? Where is the post office, please? Where is the post office, please? She asked me where the post office was. So you noticed, where is the post office? And she asked me where. The same question word came there as conjunction, right? Where, after the question word, the post office, the subject, you have to write the subject after the question word. So where the post office. So after the subject, you have to write the verb. Is becomes was there. So where the post office was. You can't write where was the post office. That's not the correct form of converting a question word into reported speech. Instead, you have to write where the post office was. So after the question word, can write the subject, then the verb. Okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? She asked me what. What? So question word. And are doing is the verb. So before the verb, you have to use the subject. You is the subject here. So when you convert you here, it becomes I. So she asked me what I. Then are doing, was doing. Are doing becomes was doing, because you is considered to be plural. Always you is used along with you, plural form are used. Understood? But at the same time, here it is I. So you can't use were doing because I is singular. So you have to use was doing. Okay, who was that fantastic man? Who was that fantastic man? She asked me who that fantastic man had been. Okay, who was that fantastic man? She asked me who that fantastic man had been. So was is the verb here. It is simple past. So you have to convert this simple past into past perfect. What is the past perfect form of was? Had been. Okay, so who that fantastic man had been. Understood? Okay, so what happens when you convert a yes or no question into reported speech? We talked about this in the beginning. Again, do you love me? He asked me if I loved him. He asked me. So he asked me, as it is yes or no type question, if is the conjunction here, right? If or whether. I love becomes loved, me becomes him. He asked me if I loved him. Have you ever been to Mexico? Have you ever been to Mexico? She asked me if I had ever been to Mexico. If I have becomes had. So before have verb, you have to use the subject. As I said before, she asked me if I is the subject, then the verb. If I had ever been to Mexico. Are you living here? She asked me if I was living there. Are you living here? She asked me if I was living there. If I was living there. It is not here, it is there. Okay. And what changes takes place when we convert an imperative sentence, as I said before, direct speech. Go to bed. He told the child to go to bed. To add to, and the other is just like this one. He told the child to go to bed. She asked the child to read the chapter. For example, okay, don't worry. He told her not to worry. He told her not to worry. So don't, when you convert a sentence, an imperative sentence starting with don't, you have to add the conjunction not to. Okay, don't knock the door. They asked us not to knock the door. Okay, like that. Be on time. To be on time. He told me to be on time. To be on time. Don't smoke. Then not to smoke. He told us not to smoke. Okay, now we have learned all the rules regarding the reported speech, how to convert a sentence into reported speech. Okay, now let's see what is there in your textbook regarding reported speech, how the questions are asked, what type of questions are asked, and how can you make the changes. Okay, reported speech from the textual part. So this one is from +1 textbook, +1 English textbook. The following sentences are from the story The Price of Flowers. You all are very well aware of this story. Read them. She asked, are you an Indian? Yes. Excuse me, are you a vegetarian? Why do you ask that? I have heard that most Indians are vegetarians. How is it that you know anything about India? My elder brother is in India. He is a soldier. So you all know this conversation. This is between Gupta and Maggie, right? Okay. Then this is from the chapter The Price of Flowers, and the very next day, the narrator told his friend about the girl and their conversation. Read and find out how he presented it. Okay, the same thing. He met Mr. Gupta met one of his friends, and he shared what happened the previous day as he met with the girl Maggie. Then he shares all the incidents took place and their conversation too. Then how will he present it? That's the question. Okay. Then remember what was asked there, and his answer must be: the girl asked me whether I was an Indian. Right? The girl asked me whether I was an Indian. Do you remember the question that the girl asked? Are you an Indian? Right? Are you an Indian? Then how will you convert it? So when you report the girl, when Gupta reported the girl, he makes the changes. Look, the girl asked me, okay, are you an Indian? It is, right? She asked, are you an Indian? And his response was yes. Then how will he present it? The girl asked me whether I was an Indian. So as it is a yes or no question, whether it is. You have noticed it, right? Whether I was an Indian. Are you an Indian? It was. So the are converted as was, because are is present tense and was is past form of are. Actually, are is for plural, and as I is singular, we have to use was here. So whether I was an Indian, I answered in the affirmative. He said yes. Yes, so you can say that it is an answer in the affirmative. I answered in the affirmative. Then she asked me politely if I was a vegetarian. The next question you remember, are you a vegetarian, right? And then she asked me politely if I was a vegetarian. So why does she say politely? Because excuse me, are you a vegetarian is her question. So instead of saying, instead of excuse me, he used politely, right? Then she asked me politely if I was a vegetarian, right? So here he used if, here he used whether. So anything can be used, if or whether. I was a vegetarian. I inquired why she asked that. That why do you ask was his question, right? Why do you ask? I inquired or I asked Why she asked that? Why do you ask? Then why you becomes she. Why she asked that? Do ask is the verb there. So as it is present form of the verb, we have to convert it into past tense. So why she asked that? Okay, she said that she had heard that most Indians were vegetarians. What did she say? I have heard that most Indians are vegetarians was her response. Then when he converted into reported speech, she said that she had heard. I have heard. Then she said, I have heard. So he converted it as she had heard that most Indians were vegetarians. I further asked I further asked her how it was that she knew anything about India. He again asked questions. So I further asked. So you notice the words that connect the sentences, right? So here again, as he asks, I further asked her how it was that she knew anything about India. She replied that, notice the conjunction, right? Here, that is the conjunction. Here, how is the conjunction? And that is the conjunction here. And here, ask me politely, if is the conjunction. So you notice the conjunctions, right? So she replied that her elder brother was in India and added that he was a soldier. And added that. So it was another sentence, right? My elder brother is in India. Dot. He um, he is a soldier was her response, right? My elder brother is in India. He is a soldier. So how did he convert it? She replied that her elder brother was in India and added that he was a soldier. That's how we convert. Understood? That's how the questions are asked from this part in your examination. It is usually a passage instead of one or two sentences. Instead of a piece of conversation, it is usually given a passage from the chapter, and you are asked to convert it. So this is how we convert. Understood? Now rewrite the following sentences in reported speech. Shall I call you Miss Clifford or Alice? I'm not grown up yet. You may call me what you like. I'm usually called Maggie. She laughed. Are you very anxious to grow up? Yes. Tell me why. When I grow up, I shall be paid more for my work. My mother is old. Is the work you do to your likings? No, the work is very mechanical. I want work that I will make that will make use of my brain, my head, that will make use of my head, brain work, like the work of a secretary. So this is a passage. So this is from your textual part. It is an exercise given there in your textbook itself. So how will you convert this sentence into reported speech? You can give a try. Let's see. Okay, let's see how shall we convert this. Shall I call you Miss Clifford or Alice? How can you convert this? Gupta asked Maggie. Gupta asked Maggie, shall I call you Miss Clifford or Alice? Is an yes or no type question, right? So you can start like, if instead of I, he, then shall call can be converted as a would call or should call, right? You can write a would call too, or should call also, okay? If he would call her instead of you can write her, Miss Clifford or Alice. Same, and remove the question mark. That's it. So Gupta asked Maggie if he should call her Miss Clifford or Alice. Okay, then what is her response? What is her response? I am not grown up yet. You may call me what you like. Then Maggie replied that is the conjunction here, right? Replied that. Instead of I, you can write she am not grown up yet. Am not grown up yet. Am is the present tense, right? Then you can write she was not grown up. She was not grown up. Then she was not grown up yet. And I added. So this another sentence. So instead of just converting it, you can put in between and added that, and added that, and added that. He might call her what he liked. So you means Gupta, right? So you can convert it as he. May, instead of may, you can write might, past form of the may, past form of may. Might call her what he liked. What he liked. Understood? Then he might call her what he liked. So instead of this dot, instead of the full stop, you can add and added that. Okay, are you very anxious to grow up? I further asked. It is Gupta, no? Then I further asked. Otherwise, Gupta further asked. So if Gupta tells this incident to someone else, he can use I. And if we say this to someone else, Gupta asked, or he asked, he further asked if she was very anxious to grow up. If she was very anxious to grow up. Maggie replied in the affirmative. She says yes, no? Maggie replied in the affirmative. I asked her to tell me the reason. I asked her to tell me the reason. I asked her to tell me why. Okay, Maggie replied that when she grew up, she would be paid, or she should be paid more for her work. Her mother was old. Is the work you do your liking? Gupta again asked if the work she did was to her liking. If the work she did was to her liking. She answered in the negative. She answered negatively, or she denied. Uh, and added that the work was very mechanical and she wanted work that would make her use her head. Brain work, like the work of a secretary. That's how you can convert the sentence. Hope you understood. Okay, if you didn't, just rewind the video, listen carefully, and try to do it by yourself. Okay. Report the following. This is from +2 textbook. Right. You aren't worried, are you? Tony asked. No way, man. Felix laughed. I just think it's cooler if we split right here. After the fight, we can get it together again like nothing ever happened. So this is from +2 textual part. How will you convert this? You aren't worried, are you? Tony asked. Then you can write, Antonio asked Felix if he was worried or not, right? If he was worried or not, as it is tag question, you can add or not to, right? So Antonio asked Felix if he was, so instead of you can write he, and aren't, the past form of are, and as it is suitable to the subject, he wasn't, was, right? If he was worried or not, so this negative comes when you add or not there. Okay, so if he was worried or not. No way, man, Felix laughed out loud. Felix laughed out and said that, and denied. No way, man. So you can write and denied, laughed and denied, and added that he just thought it was cooler if they split right there. If they split right there, after the fight, they could get it together again like nothing ever had happened. Okay, after the fight, they could, instead of we write they can becomes could, get it together again like nothing ever had happened. Happened is past form, so past perfect. Had happened. That's how we convert this. Okay. Report the following. It is from another question. Martha, what are you going to do now? Baldin, I will find a position. Then Martha asked Baldin what he was going to do then. Now becomes then. What he was going to do then. Right. Martha asked, what you comes here and becomes he, right? What he and are comes here and becomes was. Why? Because are is present form, you have to make it past, and he is singular, so was is singular, so singular past is was. So why he was, so what he was going to do now becomes then, right? What he was going to do then. Baldwin replied that I becomes he. He would find a position. He would find a position instead of will. We write would. Okay, this is how we convert. Okay then. Okay, the conversation given below is a part of an interview that Antonio and Felix gave to a reporter. What would be the reported version of the conversation? Reporter asked, has the fight affected your friendship? How will you convert? You can write like reporter asked Antonio if the fight had affected their friendship, had affected your friendship becomes their friendship. Okay, then Antonio replies never. So you can write Antonio denied never. So you can say Antonio denied and added that, or and said they never took fighting into their hearts. So they never take becomes took. They never took fighting into their hearts. Understood? Okay. Reporter, who in your opinion is the winner of the fight? Reporter further asks Antonio, who in his opinion, in your opinion becomes in his opinion, the winner of the fight was. The winner of the fight was. The reporter asked Antonio, who in his opinion the winner of the fight was. So the verb is becomes was, and it comes only in the end, because only after the subject the verb can come when you convert a question into reported speech. Okay. Felix, that question didn't, Felix replied that the question didn't bother them. Both of them were winners. Were winners. Okay, this is what you have to learn here. Okay, this one, indirect speech into direct speech. Look at this paragraph from this story. So it is just opposite of what we have learned. We have learned how to convert a sentence from direct speech into indirect speech, and this one is from indirect speech to direct speech. So you have learned the rules and just do it in the reverse. Okay, his parents said, that is the conjunction. So you can rewrite it like his parents said, comma, inverted comma. Then the boy is a little angel. So instead of was, you can write is. Okay, remove that. Then convert was into is. The boy is a little angel, all dimples, smiles, and sweetness, only wings lacking. There is no more changes. He was their only child. Instead of was, write is. He is their only child. They had abundant affection and ample money. They have. Instead of they, you can write we. Parents say, we have. The parents said, inverted comma, the boy is a little angel, all dimples, smiles, and sweetness, only wings lacking. He is our only child. The parents say this, right? So instead of there, you can write our only child. They had. So we have. He is the only child we have. We have abundant affection and ample money. Okay, that's how we convert this sentence. Okay, then that's all about our reported speech. I think we have touched all the part that there is chance to come doubts for you in this regards. Then if you feel anything doubtful, again, if you find it difficult to understand some particular part, again, watch the video and clear your doubts. Okay, so this video has been made both for +1 and +2 students to make use of, including some instances from both textbooks. Okay, hope this video will help you to understand reported speech, and from now onwards, never lose mark for reported speech. Okay, thank you for watching.